Jesus, guide my way. Oh, you mourn with me and you dance with me, for my heart of hearts is bound to you. Though I walk through valleys low, I'll fear no evil. By the waters in my soul, my heart will trust in you.
Hello there and welcome to Through It All. Now today we are having a very special edition for Through It All. I know you're used to, well, having somebody share their story, their testimony, what they've been through, their recovery journey, and much more. But today we want to look at a different aspect of Through It All. What is it young people, youth, are going through in the country? There has been, if I may call it, an uprising, and everybody is like, what's happening with the young people? It's like every day on the news, we are hearing, well, this happened. Well, the young people here, some youth here. Well, I mean, we want to come back and instead of just pointing a finger and blaming and saying, well, they're not doing well, they should have done this. We want to come up with a sober, discussion and ask ourselves, where did we lose it? What happened? And what can we do? I believe it's not too late. Well, in the discussion today, we have special people. Some are young, not so young, but well, let's say everybody here is young. Okay. And then we'll have a discussion and just an open talk and see what is it we can do. How can we? And I appreciate all of you, young people that are listening to us, youth, Gen Z, and everybody, teenagers. You're in the right place. So stay with us. Share this information with your friends. And I want them to introduce themselves and probably do it different. As you introduce yourself, you can just say what is on top of your head, concerning young people in the country, in Kenya. I'm sure we have been watching TV, social media. So what is on top of your head when you think about the young people and what is happening today in our country? So let's start from the far end here. Just tell us your name and then what is on top of your head about youth.
Thank you so much. Let me appreciate our host today. Thank you for welcoming me to this show. It's my first time and I'm so privileged. My name is Jamleck Kiprono. I serve in the Overcoming Faith Church as a youth pastor, and I'm privileged to be here to talk about the young people because that is where my passion is, and that is where I love to serve. Yeah, just as you've said, there have been so many mentions on the TV, on the social media about the young people, the Gen Zs, and it's not in vain. I was just checking out the other day that at least out of 100 youths, it is only 33 who are employed. So the 67, they need to be heard, and they need to find a solution for them, because you can imagine it can be so frustrating. You have gone through school, you have graduated, and now you are at home, and you don't know what the future holds from you, because there are no jobs. There's no one who is listening. It is also said that at least 85 of the young people, they believe that the government is not hearing what they are saying. So they want to force the government to hear them, what they are saying, because they have real issues. So in other words, I'm saying that they have the rights to do what they're doing because they need to be heard and they need a solution for what they're going through in life. Maybe I can start with that one for now.
Thank you, Jamleck. And I think you've heard it. So they are saying, You're not listening. We have issues, and those are the issues we are going to handle here. What are the young people? Because we all have ears, and we can hear what they are saying. I think I'll jump over and go to my far left and talk to another gentleman here, Pastor Peter, and hear what he has to say about the young people.
Thank you so much, Bishop. As you have heard, Pastor Peter Njiiri. I am grateful to be in this show. I think there is a lot that is going on in our country, and especially with our young people. There's a lot of hopelessness because of unemployment. We have very many young people in Kenya. They say that our population, 65% of our population are young people. And so it means that they are the ones who are contributing a lot in our nation, yet they are the ones who are less involved in policy making in our nation. And I am happy because our young people have decided that they will be heard. Even if the older generation don't want to listen to them, they are making sure that they are noticed. We have just come from a small election that was happening in Olkarao, and you see it is the young people who are being used either for good or for bad. And so that should concern us as parents, as leaders, and we need to start thinking about our young people. How can we help them to come out from that state of hopelessness and make them know that there is so much that they can do and accomplish even without being employed. For example, they can start up businesses, those kind of things. And I know our economy is not doing very well because some of them, when you ask them, don't you think you should start a business? Yet there are so many policies that have come up that are making them not be able to start out something. So these are some of the things that we should be discussing, and thank God that we are here and we are able to look at some of them and see how can we help our young people.
So unemployment is one of them. And of course, well, I'm reminded the verse in the Bible that says, I'm writing to young people because you're strong. So everybody is going for that strength. You know, the politicians and everybody in business, in politics, in everywhere. Everybody is looking for young people because they know if I have an agenda, if I have something I need accomplished, then young people have the strength, have the time, and much more. I mean, it surprises you when you know, just something happens, you know, and out of curiosity, you'll find 500, 1,000 young people will gather within minutes. So that tells you we are sitting on a time bomb where we have so young people that are idle, that are not making it in life, and they need help. And that's why we are here to think, what is that help that we can actually, and you know, whatever the government is doing, and even at an individual level, as a church, if you have a small business, if you have a company, what is it we can do? Even talking, sharing, empowering. What is it we can do to raise the young people? Wow, we come back to on my right here, and have a young lady. She can introduce herself and tell us what is on, you know, on top of your head as a young lady, you know, when concerning young people.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for having me on this show. I am Joy Gichimu. I am born again. I'm a born again Christian. I love the Lord. I'm also a journalist by profession, and what comes at the top of my head about, you know, the youths, it's that amidst all this, the unemployment, what did you say, being unheard, there is now identity crisis. You find that now the youths don't even, if you ask them, who are you? And it's in terms of character, in terms of values, most of them don't seem to know their identity. So you find that they may be swayed by the government, like you said, the way they are used by the government for bad things. It's because most of them don't know their identity. They don't know their values. They don't know, their character is just misplaced. So I feel like a key thing that is maybe disturbing the youths right now is that identity issue. They don't know themselves. Yeah.
So there's an identity crisis.
Yes,
The
there
young
is.
people are, they're trying to look for a footing.
Yeah, yeah.
Who are we? Who am I?
Yes.
I mean, because maybe I've been to school, I have studied, graduated. Like you have said, I don't have a job.
Yeah.
I don't have a career that I'm pursuing. But identity, like you have said, is big. I mean, and of course, around that age, let's say 18, 20, 25, 30, it is when the young people are trying to understand, who am I? Yes, I'm here. I'm now not in the hands of my parents, so to speak, but I'm on my own, kind of. So who am I? What is it that I need to do to be fulfilled? And I think we'll talk more about that. And the young people listening to us right now, how can you find your true identity? Because when you find your true identity, then you're actually not swayed by every wind and everybody looking for young person they can use or misuse, and accomplish whatever they want to accomplish. I know that crisis, I mean, it can come to an end when young people identify and know for sure, this is who I am. This is my real identity. Wow, we have another young man here. How is it going?
The going is good, Bishop.
Tell us what's happening with the young people.
Hello, viewer. My name is Munyua. I am a young man, of course. I serve at Overcoming Faith Church. I'm also the CEO of a company called Memories Media Production, whereby I do everything media related. Now, when I think about the youth, the issue that comes to my mind is influence.
Okay.
Influence in the sense that, first of all, I'll start by paraphrasing the Bible, whereby it says that you should guard your heart because that is where the
Issues of life.
the issues of life arise from. Now, when I say influence, it's a really broad spectrum in the sense that influence will come from right at home. Let's talk about, for example, about marriage. I'm a young man. Let's say I live with my mom and my dad. The way I see their marriage will influence my perspective.
Are you still living with your mom and dad?
Okay. It's been a minute.
Okay.
Yes.
Just checking.
Of course. Now, as I was saying, their marriage will influence my perspective of how marriage life is. Let's say where the youth, we have a big multitude of the youth meeting. Of course, there's kuna wasanii, there are artists, there are these people who are trying to influence the youth. Whatever that person is saying will influence me and how I see life.
And the bloggers,
like
the influencers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So influence is something that might be overlooked and might be taken in the sense that influence comes from only a small place, but really in almost 80% of the life of a young person, it's through influence. Because let's say, Pastor, you'll come to me, you'll try to influence me to be a better person. Then another person will come to me. The influence will always come in. So influence is a really key factor that affects the youth, I would say, even in today's life.
Thank you, Timothy. I like what you said. I mean, because most of the young people are greatly influenced by other people, and of course all of us. We have been influenced by through parenting, schooling, the society, people we work with or under. So I mean, you cannot disregard the power of influence. So maybe Pastor Peter can tell us for young parents who are listening to us, how do you influence your, because it has to start down there. When they're 18, 20, 25, sometimes it's very hard to instill whatever you want to instill in them. So how do we influence the children when they are still young, 2, 3, 5, 7 years, so that they can follow a certain trajectory of life, that actually when they grow up, they can make the right decision? I don't know, some of the tips you can think about.
Okay, Bishop, I think for the young parents, I'm a parent of two, a boy and a girl, and I'm working hard to be a good role model because children do what they see, not just what you tell them to do.
Yeah.
And especially this generation. It's not like us, our fathers would tell us not to smoke, but they said you to go and buy them cigarettes. You know, they'll tell you not to drink alcohol, but you will help them to prepare moratina for them. And so if we want...
somehow you want to taste along the way.
and sometimes we'll taste.
Yeah,
You know, so if we want to model our children and have them, you know, follow and get and have good values or have good value systems, I think we have to practice what we tell them to do. If we talk about obedience, let them see us obey. If we teach them, you know, as simple things like, you know, apologizing when you do something wrong, they should also hear you apologize. If I am married to my wife and I do something wrong to her, maybe we have decided we are going somewhere and we are late, and when she comes and asks, how comes you got late, they should hear me apologize to their mother. If I do something wrong to them, they should hear me apologize to them. Not once, not twice. Even sometimes when I'm doing homework with my daughter, and then they go to school and they are wrong, and they say, Dad, you made me right. You made me right. And I apologize. I say, my daughter, I am sorry. I don't know everything. And I want them to know, just because I'm their father, I don't know everything. And then sometimes I will make mistakes. And they should see that. So when they are growing, I need to model that in them. So it's very, very important. So the things we don't want to see our children do, we should not do them. We should teach them the aspect of respect and honor, but not just saying and telling them, but they should see us practice that. I am a firm believer of, if I want to teach respect to my children, I should be the one to respect people, and they should see us respecting people. I should not tell them, for example, I have a nanny in my house. I teach them and train my children to respect and honor her. But then I don't just teach them, they see me honor her by how I talk to her, how my wife talks to her. They see, we model that, you know. When they come to tell us about what maybe their teacher did to them, we listen to them keenly, but we don't discuss their teachers with them. Because even if maybe their teacher made a mistake, we must see how to show them that your teacher is your role model. And they know what they are saying. So that if there is something and I need to follow up with the teacher, I can do that later. But I must be the one to show them to respect the grown-ups. So I have to be careful to be a good role model as a father and as a parent.
I think that's so profound.
That's true.
They say monkey see,
monkey
monkey do. So it's more than what we tell the children, do this, don't do this. It is also they are watching. And I think it's important what you have said, also being realistic and being authentic and apologizing and don't portray a picture to your children that you are perfect. Because that's why when they discover you're not perfect, then it might be too late. So I think it's good to also portray that picture. I'm not perfect, I'm doing my best, you know, as I raise you, but again, we can walk the journey together. And I think you're teaching them a very important, you know, principle. You know, Joy here, I mean, do you remember some of the people that have influenced your life, and how did that go?
Yes. First of all, I'd say just from when I was brought into this world, definitely the first people who influenced my life were my parents. And then along the way came my teachers, learning all through to campus. And then now outside here, it's where it gets real, because there's everyone, anyone. You find your friends that you get to, you know, not the ones you grew up with, but other new friends. You get, now, like, you're really into the world. There's people in the social media you don't even, I remember like when I was in campus, I used to love to watch this couple things in YouTube. Yeah, like these influencers who are just earning a living through making YouTube videos, but they're couples. So they they influenced me or the audience, which I'm part of it, into some extent. And some of these things they do there, it's not the real things. They're acting. You find that even these people are not together, but they are portraying that they're together, and yet they are not together. So you see now they influence people like this is how things are, and it's not really how they are, because what they portray out there, it's picture perfect. There is no time that we are having any, those down moments. People like those, you find now the government is influencing now me directly. You see, when I'm growing up, it's just my mom and my dad, and they're regulating that. But right now, the government is really influencing me directly, because now I pay taxes. Now nikisikia kuna venye nasema kakitu. They are influencing me directly. Right now, when I go to church, I have people who influence me. I'm glad that I have someone like Bishop and my pastors over here. So they are influencing me. They are also my colleagues, people who every day of my life, I see them. So they are of influence in my life. Even to the nitty gritties, like watu wa matatu, tukipatana hapo nje Kamagera.
Kamagera ni wapi?
Unakumbuka Bishop wako anajua Kamagera.
Kamagera. Stage inaitwa Kamagera.
Kuna kama wanapiga seti. Wale wanachapa.
Okay. Nowadays wanaitwa Kamagera.
It trickles down to those extent, like everyone right now, as long as I'm able to see you, or I'm able to, have access, or are able to have access to me, you are influencing me in one way or another.
And of course, you are influenced to influence others.
That's true.
Yes.
Somebody said, you may say my background, but today you are the background.
Yeah.
Other people are now looking up to you, especially after 28, 30. You are now the background.
Yeah,
So, Jamleck, how important is it when you think about young people being influenced the wrong way, especially through social media? And of course, we understand the issue of joblessness and all that. How should they handle, how do they choose who should influence my life and who I should not allow to influence my life? Because Joy is saying some of them are not even real, they're acting. But some of the young people think this is real. Or even today we have AI, they're using AI, and some people think this is real.
That's true.
Yeah, what do you say?
Wow. When I think about that, the topic of influence, I think it is a very major one, especially for this generation that is coming up, from age 12 coming up.
The Gen Alpha.
The Gen Alpha. Oh my goodness. They're really experiencing influence in such a mighty way, because us growing up, I think the first time I had my smartphone, I was maybe 20 years, 19 years. But them from their children with age 8, they have their phone. A smartphone, not Katululu. My first one was Katululu. I used to play Snake when I sleep. But they have even a smartphone from age 8 going up. And
as we started with the phones that didn't have a screen. The Nokia and those kind of phones, they didn't have a screen.
On identifying who to influence you, on how or who to choose to influence you. First of all, this brings a major issue of being born again, knowing Christ. If you know Christ, if you're born again, then directly that cut half of the people who can influence you in life. You can easily know if this man is not born again, there's no way he can influence me positively, honestly. But if someone is born again, then we can now go to another issue. What does he believe? Or what does she believe? That now brings into if I can follow this person to influence me, if I can allow this person to influence me or not. For example, if someone is born again but is always against the men of God in social media, definitely I cannot follow this person. I cannot follow this person to influence me, because that person will influence you even to hate your pastor or to not follow what your pastor teaches you. Another thing, when you look to someone, someone is teaching you maybe issues about marriage, but this person is not married. But I always talk about marriage.
Or they're in their second or third marriage. It's not working for them.
Honestly, you cannot allow that person to influence you, because even you'll be knowing if this marriage will not work out, I can easily go to the next one or the other one. So there are so many factors to look when you want someone, or when you want to expose your life to be influenced by someone. For example, someone like me, there are people I cannot expose myself to influence. I always talk to my pastor here, Pastor Njiiri, because I have seen his life. I have seen where he has come from. So even where I'm going, I feel he can play a good part in influencing me. Same to my bishop here. Where he is and where he has come from, I know he has a bigger part in my life that he can influence me to. So
more than social media, it's good to have real people.
That's true.
Because people are relying so much on media, and yet they don't have any real person they can go to. You can have 5,000 people you're saying they follow me or they are my friends on Facebook, but you don't have a real friend. People you can sit down and talk. Timothy on the same. I don't know what you think when you think about wrong influence, because most of the things when young people getting into drugs, into addictions, we hear young people are committing all this kind of crime and all that, even in politics and going to wherever they are going. It's through influence. I don't know what you think.
It's true influence, but what I will say is it's the same verse that I quoted, that guard your heart. I'll give a small example. There's when I was just a young man coming out of my mother's house.
So you actually came out.
So this person was telling me, "Hey, Tim, by now you should have a girlfriend, and then after this you should do that." Then I'm looking at his life. Hey, well, use your life.
So actually, somebody told you that?
Yeah, somebody told me that.
Can you give me their phone number? Okay.
So the thing that really helped me was, number one, guarding my heart by actually listening to what this person is saying. Let's say, for example, there are these politicians who use the strength of the youth to do wrong things. If me as a young person, I'm actually listening to what this person is saying and actually pay attention to what this person is saying, believe me, I will make the right decision. I will either A, go with what the person is saying, or B, say no, let's meet at the ballot box where we send you home and the country continues.
Yes, you have a vote?
Yeah, Niko Kadi.
Oh, Muko Kadi. So you're waiting.
Yeah, so
all right.
The bottom line is just listen to actually what is being said. Don't follow your emotions, because let's say I feel some type of way about you, Pastor Njiiri, and I also feel some type of way about Pastor Jamleck. You might be telling me something that is actually true and helpful to me, but because I'm like, "Hey, Pastor Njiiri," but because Pastor Jamleck, we are around the same age bracket, I'm like, let me listen to him. Then he's telling me, "Timothy, don't give your tithe, because all they do is eat that tithe." But yet again, the Bible is telling us, ukikataa na tithe, you're actually stealing from God. Who are you to steal from God? Just listen to what is being said.
So be careful who you are listening to,
exactly.
because who you listen to, you'll end up following.
But I cannot tell you that.
He's using it as an example. Wow, time is running out, and this is very exciting. I hope young people and even older people, everybody listening to us, you're actually learning something, that don't just listen to any voice that talks to you. There's so much people are saying to make money, have the views, and do all those kind of things, that How about having somebody real? Somebody you can talk to, somebody you know that they're listening to you and they care, they love you and all that. So, well, that's what we have for today. We'll be able to continue from there. Thank you for joining us. Know that we have you at heart. As a young person, you are not alone. We genuinely care. Even as a church and a church family, we call our church a church family because even the young people amongst us, we care for them. More than teaching them the word of God, we are raising a generation of faith, a generation that will change and make a difference. Thank you so much. This is Through It All. We are looking at real issues affecting young people today. And you know what? There is hope for tomorrow.
That's true.
God bless you. See you next time.
Amen.
Jesus, guide my way. For you mourn with me and you dance with me. For my heart of hearts is bound.